Hey, what's up, YouTubers? It's me again, Brian, and I'm doing another My 2 cent video. This one, I am going to look at the Wii U. Apparently, this week, the Wii U turned 3 years old since it came out. Now, looking back at the system, though, I kind of have to say has sort of had a lot of ups and downs. In my opinion, unfortunately, it's been a down, basically, because I feel when you look at the Wii U, I like the system, don't get me wrong. I think when it comes to first-party games, Nintendo nailed it a lot with that. But I feel that the system, I just think that the potential was there. Unfortunately, I think looking back at it, a lot of bad decisions put Nintendo in the kind of situation it is right now with the Wii U, though. I have to say that, excuse me, poor preparation in terms of, from what I understand, this was their first time doing an HD console. Poor communication and messaging, in which basically they only showed off the gamepad, which sort of sent the message that this was an add-on for the Wii U. Poor marketing strategy, in which they barely even advertised it, mostly just banked off like the name itself would sell it, though. Poor relationship with third-party developers, although to be fair, some third parties do share some of the blame for this, though. I mean, I have to say, just so many, it's just surprising when I saw January's 2014's financial report of how bad the situation was. I think the problem is that when you look at the Wii U, I think a lot of the problems go as far back as to the Wii as well. Now, granted, the Wii was a successful system, sold 100 million units. I mean, any company would kill to have that. So let's be clear. I mean, someone would love to have those kind of numbers. But I think a lot of the problems that exist, I think some of the issues that may have existed on the Wii were carried over to the Wii U. Mainly the audience that carried the Wii, which was the casual market, unfortunately was not there to carry the Wii U. And the hardcore market, which originally Nintendo was trying to win back with the Wii U, unfortunately, I have to say a lot of them abandoned Nintendo after the launch of the Wii because it felt like Nintendo was just chasing this other audience, not chasing them. And so that kind of put them in between a rock and a hard place. I think combined with that confusion, along with the name, the Wii U, that didn't help the situation either. And when January 2014's financial report came out and it was clear they were not going to reach 10 million by March 2015. It looked like, I think it was 2.3. I could be wrong, but I think that was one of the financial report numbers. That was to me, as a longtime Nintendo fan, I have to say I was both saddened but angry. Saddened that one of the most beloved video game companies, their console has not become a success, and angry at the same time, angry because of the fact that I felt like there were warning signs that I think Nintendo should have addressed earlier on, but instead, I think in a way they kind of lived in their little bubble thanks to the success of the Wii. And I think it just amazes me that that it took them this long to realize that. I mean, it took them this long to reach 10 million units sold when, I mean, the PS4, thanks to both Microsoft and Nintendo's screw up at the beginning with their consoles, was able to surpass that number long before any of those two were able to reach the 10 million mark, though. And I think when you look after that financial report, I think it was obviously clear that Nintendo basically was just going to ride the system out. That there was really I didn't feel like there was any attempt to try to bring those numbers up. They figure, you know what, we'll just please the current fans right now and just move on from that. I mean, there are a lot of things. I think a lot of things they could have done. Name is one of them. A better communication, messaging, and marketing. Hell, I even think a game like Mario Maker should have been out earlier on in the system's life cycle to at least give people an idea what the gamepad could do, which was one of the other problems, that they really did not do a good job promoting the gamepad very well, though. Let's see, what else? I mean, so, and I just think that by announcing the codename, also, I'm going to get this, is that by announcing codename NX, I think, in my opinion, that was sort of the final nail in the coffin for the Wii U. Now, do I hate the system? No, of course not. I think there are great first-party games, but I do feel a little let down the fact that Nintendo promised a lot of things that they couldn't deliver, though. And a lot of the drought issue also hurt them as well. The relationship with third-party developers, but like I said earlier, to be fair, third parties do share some of the blame, particularly, companies like EA, which, according to a rumor, supposedly was pissed off at Nintendo for not letting them control over their network using their EA Origins, and they decided to release, little to no games on it, like Mass Effect 3 Take Back the Earth Edition, which seemed like a pointless release, considering why buy that when I could just buy the Mass Effect trilogy that's on the PS3 or the 360, or the fact that a lot of the games that these third parties released were either missing content and all, and it was like, what's the point buying those versions when I could just, since you're putting all the times and efforts in the PlayStation or Xbox version, I might as well just go get that instead. I mean, that's one of the, that was one of the big issues. I mean, third parties do share that, and even indie games, as good as they are, and there are good indie games like Shovel Knights, for example, those are not enough to really push people out to buy a Wii U. I mean, there really wasn't a big push, and I think that, and like I said, a lot of bad decisions hurt them on this, and I think I personally do believe that come sometime next year, I certainly think that, although I could be wrong, and it is possible that 2017 and 2018 could be a possible launch date, I personally think that the most likelihood is that Nintendo will launch Codename NX sometime next year. And when it does, and assuming it does take off, and that means a big if it does, you can be sure they're going to drop support for the Wii U very quickly. I feel that Nintendo just wants to move on from the Wii U as quickly as they can. And I think it's really a shame. I really do think it's just bad that they're dropping, given the condition that the Wii U is in. I think it is a good system. I think the potential, like I said before, the potential is there. It's just, I just feel it will never reach its true potential. I mean, there were games that that I think could have, if done correctly, could have paved the way for other ideas, like the Wonderful 101. That was a wonderful game of mine. I thought Zombie U had an interesting idea that could have been expanded upon even more if the opportunity was there. But like I said, potential was wasted, and I think that's really, really sad. I think it's really sad that the Wii U will go down as one of the worst-selling consoles for Nintendo, though. I mean, I think maybe not nearly as bad as Virtual Boy, but still, and I certainly believe it will have a short lifespan, and I think that's just terrible for what's going on with the Wii U. Is it worth getting now? If first-party games are your type of thing, then I say yes, it is worth getting if you're into the first-party games. But other than that, if third-party games are your thing, I would say skip it, because you're not going to find the third-party games you're looking for on the Wii U. Unless it's first-party games, you're not going to find what you're looking for with the Wii U. You might as well either go with the Xbox One, PS4, or if you're PC or Steam for that matter, though. All right. Bottom line, though, Wii U, a good system that I felt will never reach its true potential thanks to a lot of bad decisions I feel was made to it earlier on. And like I said, I think that's really sad, though. Anyway, that's my video for today. What do you think? Do you think the Wii U was a disappointment, or do you think it deliver what it could deliver, though? Do you think it was well worth the purchase, especially on launch day, or do you think, looking back at it right now, it's not well worth it at all? Like the video if you do, and leave a comment and tell me what you think, whether the Wii U was worth your time or not. All right? All right. Well, you guys take it easy. Bye.